In the early 1930s, at the height of the Great Depression, when the American automobile industry was focused on survival rather than experimentation, one machine appeared that seemed to come from an entirely different future. It did not resemble the boxy sedans of Detroit, it did not follow the traditional rules of chassis layout, and it certainly did not try to blend in. The vehicle was the Dymaxion Car, created by American inventor and systems thinker Buckminster Fuller. Fuller was not a conventional automotive engineer. He was an architect, futurist, and philosopher of efficiency. The word Dymaxion itself was a contraction of dynamic, maximum, and tension, reflecting his belief that design should achieve the greatest possible performance with the least possible material. The car was never intended to be just another automobile. It was a demonstration of how transportation could be reimagined from first principles. The Dymaxion car first appeared publicly in 1933 at the Century of Progress exhibition in Chicago. From the moment it arrived, it caused confusion and fascination in equal measure. The body was long and fully streamlined, stretching approximately 20 feet in length. Its profile resembled a teardrop or even a small dirigible more than a car. While most automobiles of the era were upright, heavy, and aerodynamically inefficient, the Dymaxion was shaped specifically to reduce air resistance. Fuller believed the true efficiency began with form, and the car's smooth aluminum skin reflected that philosophy. One of the most striking features was its wheel configuration. The Dymaxion used 3 wheels, 2 in the front and a single wheel at the rear. The rear wheel was the steering wheel. This reversed conventional expectations. Instead of front-wheel steering, the Dymaxion steered from the back. This gave the vehicle an extraordinarily tight turning radius. Period accounts described the car as capable of turning within a space far smaller than typical sedans of the time. In urban environments, this maneuverability was impressive. However, the design also introduced stability challenges at higher speeds and in crosswinds. Power came from a Ford flathead V8 engine producing approximately 85 horsepower. The engine was mounted toward the rear of the vehicle and drove the front wheels through a 3-speed manual transmission. This layout, rear-mounted engine with front-wheel drive, was highly unconventional in 1933. Most American cars of the period used front-mounted engines with rear-wheel drive. Fuller's configuration was chosen to optimize weight distribution and interior space. Despite having only around 85 horsepower, the Dymaxion was capable of reaching reported top speeds of about 90 miles per hour under real-world testing conditions. Fuller himself suggested that the car had the potential to reach up to 120 miles per hour under ideal circumstances, though this figure remains theoretical. Even at 90 miles per hour, however, the performance was remarkable for the era, especially considering the car's fuel efficiency, which was reported at approximately 30 miles per gallon, significantly better than many contemporaries. Weight was another critical factor. The Dymaxion weighed in the range of roughly 2,500 to 2,700 pounds. For a vehicle capable of carrying up to 11 passengers, this was notable. Many conventional automobiles of the early 1930s weighed 3,000 pounds or more while offering far less interior volume. Fuller's elongated fuselage-style body created a spacious interior that functioned almost like a compact bus. The seating arrangement was flexible, emphasizing maximum occupancy and practicality rather than luxury. However, innovation rarely arrives without resistance. During its public debut period in 1933, one of the prototypes was involved in a serious accident. A second vehicle collided with the Dymaxion, causing it to overturn. The driver of the Dymaxion was killed. Investigations later indicated that the accident was not caused by a structural failure of Fuller's design, but the damage to public perception was immediate and severe. In an era when consumers already viewed the radical shape with suspicion, the incident reinforced fears about safety. Investors withdrew, momentum stalled. Only 3 prototypes were ever built. It is important to understand that the Dymaxion was not simply a failed car. It was an experiment in systems thinking. Fuller envisioned a future where vehicles might eventually transition between road and air, and the Dymaxion's elongated body reflected aerodynamic research that extended beyond automotive boundaries. He saw transportation as part of a broader efficiency network, not an isolated product. Today, only one original Dymaxion prototype survives, preserved in the United States. A carefully constructed reproduction was later commissioned to recreate the lost second prototype using archival documentation. When viewed in person, the car still appears startlingly modern. The fully enclosed wheels, the smooth, tapering rear, and the aircraft-like proportions look closer to mid-century streamlining or even late 20th century concept cars than to 1933 production vehicles. From a technical standpoint, the Dymaxion had clear limitations. The rear-wheel steering made the vehicle sensitive at higher speeds. Crosswinds could affect stability due to the long, tapered body. The 3-wheel layout required careful handling. Yet it also demonstrated ideas that would later become central to automotive engineering: aerodynamic shaping, weight reduction, spatial efficiency, and integrated systems design. The car never reached mass production, but its influence extended beyond sales numbers. It challenged assumptions about what an automobile should look like and how it should function. In doing so, it became part of the broader streamlining movement that shaped American industrial design throughout the 1930s and 40s. In retrospect, the Dymaxion car stands as a reminder that innovation does not always succeed commercially in its own time. Sometimes it exists to test boundaries, sometimes it exists to provoke debate, and sometimes it exists simply to show that the familiar form of technology is not inevitable, that it can be redesigned from the ground up. More than 90 years later, the Dymaxion remains one of the most radical production intent vehicles ever attempted in the United States. It was ambitious, controversial, and ahead of its time. Whether viewed as a brilliant experiment or a flawed prototype, it remains impossible to ignore. If you enjoy deep dives into rare, unconventional, and historically significant vehicles like this one, consider subscribing to the channel. There are many more machines like the Dymaxion waiting to be explored.